And here we are. Let me take off my glasses because I always like to record without glasses and, just give you my perspective. But welcome if you're here to this video and you're looking for more information on the Nikon Z50 Z2 or Z2. Depends on where you're from. Then here you are. You're here with me. But I'm going to tell you that I specialize in video particularly, not so much photo. So from photo, I'll tell you the Z52 from Nikon Z52. Whatever. We're past this point. All I'm going to say is, does photos great. That sensor is like 9 years old. Does photos great. But a lot of sensors from that size, modern to back in the day, anything is going to be better than your phone. So if you feel like paying darn near $1,000 for that sensor and that camera, then what are you doing? There's a bunch of other cameras that actually can take comparable, if not higher resolution pictures than that camera at a price that could be particularly more affordable. But if you're in it for the video features, because a lot of people, let's face it nowadays, they want to do not just photos, but for video in particular that can look good on the gram, can look good on social media. Well, then here you are. And that's why you're here, because I specialize in that type of stuff. I specialize in using these cameras for video. And if that's what you like, consider hitting that subscribe button. But we're talking about this camera in particular, but I also want to discuss the fact that there are other options that may not be as good, because quite honestly, at that price point, I do think that this is one of the best cameras out there. But the question is, do you need it? Here's the thing. That camera can do all these technical specifications. It can do in-log. It can do 4K 60 with a crop. It can do 4K 30 without the crop. It can make the footage look amazing. The autofocus is next level and incredible. What does any of that mean? Especially if you don't care about it. I'm going to explain it to you in very simple terms. If you want the best camera right now at that price point, I do think that this one's going to give it to you. However, if you want a little bit more when it comes to image quality and usability, this camera might not be it for you. All right, so here's an example. You're looking at me right now. I'm recording off of a camera that was released in 2016. Now, I own really expensive cameras. I actually bought not too long ago a 8K camera that could record 60 frames per second and had all of these bells and whistles. Great. But yet I'm using a camera that came out 8 years ago, over 8 years ago at this point. Why is that? That's the thing. We don't always need the latest and greatest. We need what works for us. So if you're upgrading from a cell phone and you want to buy a camera that will look good not only for pictures and for also videography, you gotta ask yourself, how complex is gonna be your videography? And we all know, most of us, especially when we're upgrading from cell phones and may not know too much about videos, we just want to point the camera at ourselves, right? Just point it, turn it on, hit record, not worry about anything else. And if you do that, there are a ton of cameras that are able to do that for you at cheaper cost. In fact, this camera that I'm using, it's actually the 5D Mark IV, which is a full frame camera. Does not have a flip screen, does not have a lot of features, but it gives me a very good looking image with a larger frame that autofocuses on my face when I need it to, at a comparable price, maybe a little bit more used, but you're able to do a lot with it. Now, it's older technology, but then you have cameras such as the Canon RP, which is also a larger frame. Now I'll give you an example. Let's say I was using the Nikon Z50 See the image that you have right here? Well, the widest on this focal length would be this much. Now I'm at a 70mm equivalent, but see how it crops in rather than give me the full advantage of the 70mm. That's what that kind of does. Now, all this technical jargon probably doesn't mean much to you. You want me to guide you on whether you should buy the camera or not. Absolutely, if you want to future-proof and have it work with you in the long run. But I recommend you look towards used cameras at similar price points that have autofocus. Besides autofocus, actually have in the reviews like good color, good like representation, and then you're good, you're set. because if you're looking to do great looking video, then I don't think that you need to spend that much money. So when it comes to like the camera differences, they really don't mean much. For example, I'm recording off of a 8-year-old camera, just like I said, in 1080p. What 1080p means, basically a lot less detail than modern cameras. And I'm recording at the same time on my R5, which is recording in 8K RAW. Super expensive. Camera's over $4,000 and it's brand new. And look at this versus looking at this shot. Does it seem to be much of a difference? Does it seem like this camera is that much better? Maybe a little bit, but is it enough for you to say like, you know, I prefer to pay more money? Probably not. But my point is, like, you're looking for that camera, Nikon, great buy. But what really matters is what you want to buy and are looking for. Now, I'm going to tell you what to do. If you're somebody who wants to learn about cameras and is really invested in learning the functions and everything that a camera can do, and you want to buy a camera that you're going to stick with for a while, I would recommend the Nikon Z50 Mark II. Definitely. Because it's got a lot of features that you could work with. Price point is not that bad. And then maybe it can introduce you to more, but you're willing to spend that money. But if you're one of those people that just want to pay limited amount of money for a camera, just want to use it on automatic, have it to be as easy as possible, I would definitely recommend you to something less powerful, and then maybe play with camera settings no matter what you buy, something like the Canon RP. And then after you get to realize what you need and what's important to you, go one step above and then upgrade to something possibly more expensive. Because if you're not sure on whether you like cameras or not, there's no reason to upgrade to the Z50 Mark II from your phone and then think, oh wow, I got the best, and then have it sit on your shelf. Don't do that. There's no reason to do that. But that's all I got to say. Thank you very much for subscribing. Now I've reached over 100,000 subscribers. Thank you all very much for that. Now I've got a couple of videos that I want to release after that. And then if you comment below or subscribe, I've still got my GH5 that I want to give away to you. I've already hit that benchmark of 100,000 subscribers. So I've got to tally that, and then I'll release a video announcing that, and I'll let you guys know. But as always, thank you, and you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later.
Magnus Video Productions, the place to